Let's talk about Pinocchio, not the Pinocchio Syndrome, which was a book where there was a plague taking over the United States. And I'm not talking about the Pinocchio Effect, which research has shown that when people are lying, there's an increase in the temperature in their face around their noses. I'm talking about Pinocchio Dynamic, which is my name for something that many of us trauma survivors do without even knowing it. Let me play you this clip from my audio book. It'll explain the dynamic in a little bit more detail.
As we become the lies we have told ourselves, we behave in any situation based on those beliefs. We have to consistently challenge our thinking to recalibrate the falsehoods that have become rooted in our souls.
Now, these lies that we come to believe are not only things that we drew conclusions about based on whatever past trauma we've been through, but they can also be lies that people around you, caretakers, siblings, family of origin, lies that these people have drilled into us about ourselves. Regardless of the source of the lie, a lie is a lie. And that lie is a barrier for trauma survivors to the truth. We have to accept that fact in order to be able to deliberately force ourselves to see and hear truth when it's totally foreign to us.
This root system distorts reality as we develop distorted and irrational themes or scripts. The scheme fools us into decisions that contradict purpose and short-circuit or destroy our ultimate destinies. Imagine a maze of twisted pipe. You will see connectors and joints, spigots and faucets. All pipe systems have cut-off valves to redirect or stop the flow in emergencies or during repairs. Yet no matter how efficient the original design, purpose, no matter what the designer, God, intended, any blockage renders the entire system ineffective. The overall purpose is defeated as crucial sections corrode. Some of the valves are stuck in the off position and the overloaded sections have sprung leaks. If you get enough of this going on, the entire system goes into lockdown. Nothing gets in, and what comes out is tainted with fragments of the blockage, past. The more junk clogs the system, the more rigid and resistant it becomes.
See, I want you to get that image in your mind now. Think about an old house, 100 years old. It still got the original piping in it. Back then, they were using steel as for like the big pipes that like go into the sewer system. And if you've ever watched any movies or shows or YouTubes about people rehabbing these houses, if they do a cross-section cut of one of those pipes, it's completely corroded. So you might have a 12-inch pipe, but it's so corroded inside that it might be only a 2-inch flow of water through that pipe. And generally they have to get rid of those pipes. They just cut them out and lay PVC, something that's not going to corrode. And when you consider this pipe system that's corroded like that, or even having a hard blockage like the minerals and the rust, then you can get a good picture of how it's difficult for us trauma survivors to be able to fight our way through the past. The past is anything that you suffered trauma-wise or any lies you came to believe about yourself, and anything that blocks you from seeing the absolute truth about any situation. I've done many videos about how our minds get blocked by this trauma. So keep that image in mind about this corroded pipe that might be 12 inches in diameter from the outside, but it's got so much corrosion that it's down to a 2-inch flow. And keep in mind that even with that 2-inch flow, if there is a blockage such as I described in the book, then that's going to stop even water through the 2-inch flow from passing through.
That's what happens to our souls when we are morphed out of our true selves as God created us. We have to be our true selves to fulfill our roles in the master plan. By internalizing, taking it personally, focusing on retaliation, nurturing bitterness, anger, fear, and other negative emotions that become a part of us, we render ineffective or severely hinder our God-given tools to fulfill our purpose. Because we are created with all we need specific to that goal, any mutation of our true self results in a major malfunction. With each painful or traumatic experience, we build up soul scars, the pipe clog. Each scar contains the emotions we attach to the experience. This sets up a spiritual infection that oozes with festering emotions. When we ignore the infection, it turns into a hard, crusty, and impermeable defensive shield that hardens our hearts. Our minds, wills, and emotions are all held prisoner to its whims. We become as rigid as wood, no more than emotional Pinocchios jerked around at the behest of situation and circumstance. God, as our cosmic Geppetto, crafted us with the greatest love and care. Yet just like Pinocchio, we kick against and run from reality until our little wooden feet catch fire. Every time we come out fighting, blindly kicking at the very source of our existence. Yet, being the loving creator he is, God replaces them with lovingly crafted feet with which we again run away every time anything remotely challenges our irrational perceptions. Our every move is controlled by a set of well-concocted lies as we trip over our Pinocchio noses, reacting as if trapped in an endless and repetitive script. It's a psychological Groundhog's Day where we repeat the same scenes with the same ending, never thinking to rewrite the script. We become our own self-fulfilling prophecies as subconscious fear produces more of the same things from which we are fooled into thinking we are protecting ourselves. Better said, deep down we expect more of the same. We act that way, and then when that harvest slaps us in the face, we holler, "I told you so," never realizing our actions perpetuated the negative outcome.
There it is. There it is. I have called this in previous videos the subconscious expectations. I also have a video right here that talks about what to do when the truth is a non-starter. It explains why it's so important for us to fight against the Pinocchio dynamic in our lives. We will tend to run from truth, the very truth that will set us free. We are running from it, just like Pinocchio did. He wanted to be a human being. In his mind, that's what he wanted to be, anything but the puppet that he was created to be. And when we're traumatized, we tend to do the same thing. We see somebody over there, we romanticize their lives, and we see somebody accomplish something over here. We think that they're better than we are. We might have opportunities come before us, and we talk ourselves out of it. We're our own worst enemies. And God is trying to heal us. He'll put our emotions back together. He'll put us back together. He'll encourage us. And what do? Next time we run against this truth, we're running again. And I'm encouraging all of us to decide today that we are courageous enough to stand in the face of the truth that is so foreign to us, because it is the truth that would set us free. I'm Dr. Linda F. Williams. Always remember, Your greatest power is realized in the truth of who you are. Know that truth.